Hey family, welcome into Siren and Whispers. Today's pick a card is focusing on what is searching for you. So, what are you manifesting? What is seeking you out? Perhaps even things you aren't even registering in the conscious. Okay, so three groups as usual. I decided to go for such pretty feathers. I'm a bird baby. I absolutely am obsessed with birds and I collect feathers. It makes me so happy. Okay, so group one, I will use the Everyday Witch Tarot, and it is a beautiful duck feather to choose from. Group two is the Harmony deck with the gorgeous white swan feather. Group three is Crystal Magic deck and a magpie feather. Okie dokie. So take the time to really meditate on the piles, really use your intuition, focus on the imagery, focus on the feathers. Perhaps feathers are symbolic. You may want to choose two piles. If you find it doesn't resonate, you'll know if a reading's for you if you can't look away. Your attention is really focused on it and it's resonating. It's making you feel calm and locked in. You should never go away from a reading feeling anxious. That's not the vibes here. Okie dokie. What else? What else? What else? Remember to use your discernment and only take what resonates. And you're always in control. Do not make major life decisions based on tarot either, please, please, please. And I will see you guys in your reading. Howdy, group one. You chose the duck feather and the Everyday Witch Tarot. But first, let's pull some oracle and see what spirit is sending. Connecting with group one, what is searching for them? What is searching for group one? So first I'll pull oracle and then some tarot. Some confirmations at the end, like initials. Sometimes people like them, but you don't have to take them if you find that the reading resonated with you. Okay. What is searching for group one, spirit? I have to charge my light and I'm hoping it doesn't go out. If it does, apologies in advance, but I'll still go ahead with the reading and just try to adjust the lighting. Brothers of the Rose, the Great Mother, sacred masculine protection, support, surrender to the mystery of trust. So group one, I think you're searching for a support network at the minute, or you're becoming a support network for someone or a community. You could be prominent in the community. You could be a single parent. And there's people that rely on you. You're searching for people to rely on. You may have been let down various times before in life and you're feeling invisible. You want to be held. You want to be that person who is also chosen. You want to be that person who is chosen to love and support rather than always be the one that's giving the love and support. Held, unseen help, support, community. So Spirit is saying what is searching for you is that love and support. And you have to be open to it. And you have to surrender sometimes to the mystery of people. In this day and age, it can be quite frustrating and quite daunting opening your heart up to people because we never know people's intentions and it is a daunting experience, especially if you've been in a relationship. Some people could be divorced in this or separated from a long-term relationship. I'm hearing decade. That's not going to resonate with everyone, so only take it if it fits. Don't try to make it fit. The desire to be held, the desire to rely on one and not feel that you're always let down. Transformation and accepting the help and being able to receive the love and help perhaps that you weren't able to do so before. Maybe you felt guilty for accepting it. Perhaps you've always been a sort of people pleaser, a healer, someone who likes to give rather than take. But in life, it is all about balance. So what's searching for you is the balance. While you may be energetically the great mother, what's searching for you is community, is soul, is experience that wants to wrap you in its arms, that wants to involve you in something where you feel whole and fulfilled. There's someone coming towards you who is a masculine. They want to be that pillar of support, someone who is healed or someone who is working on their healing. Long hair can be symbolic, and people of color can be symbolic. You could be into Reiki, you could work in healthcare. The elements, tattoos are also symbolic. Because you chose this feather, the stock feather, I'm seeing people that are small in size but big in personality. Maybe you hide behind laughter. You hide behind the public persona of being the fixer and the healer. Perhaps you're hyper independent. You don't feel confident in relying on another because of past trauma, of being let down. And that's your shadow work to do, to heal from, to move on from, and to step into that divine feminine role where you are the receiver and nurturer, whereas you may be a wounded feminine at the minute, because the divine feminine can receive and doesn't feel guilty about it. Perhaps someone was harsh with their words. Maybe you were belittled when you did ask for help. Perhaps having experiences with the wounded masculine, where they always had to be right and didn't offer solutions, where you did, and it wore you down over time, returning to each other, compassion. So this group could be dealing with a twin flame connection or a long lasting deep soul past life connection, and you went into separation and you're manifesting each other. Perhaps this person is seeking you out energetically. Maybe it hasn't manifested in the 3D, but it's making its way there. And you both grew just from life experience. Maybe it's been many years since you've seen this person. And if you're single, a sacred masculine is coming your way, or you could be finding it within yourself, balancing out the energies, balancing out the roles that you have in society, whether it be home, a parental, you're a teacher, you're a giver, you're a seeker, and you become the receiver. It's balancing out those energies and not to feel guilty about being either one, because we all wear many hats. Hats can be symbolic. Someone could really like hats. I'm hearing basketball or baseball. If you're from the UK, rounders. Wedding bells, I'm hearing. So possibly there has been divorce or separation from a long-term partner. Religion could play a factor. So what is searching for you, group one? What is searching for you? Debt paid off. So a life free from debt, free from karmic debt, free from self-limiting beliefs. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. Maybe you were left with debt due to a toxic relationship and you cleared it off. That's your pentacles. That's your everyday life, as well as working on yourself spiritually. Really focusing on that healing, and you're wishing to be held, and the universe is sending you someone to hold you if it's a romantic relationship that you're looking for. That's support. Spirit is also saying that support is all around you. You have your guides all around you. You just have to tap into yourself. You have to take that time and to meditate and to ask the universe and ask your angels to help you, and they will. Sometimes, if you're not ready or able to receive, you won't actually know what it is that they're sending to help you. It doesn't always look like how it should look. You know, it's not always obvious. Whenever you start practicing gratitude for the little things and trusting your intuition, you become more susceptible to the magic around you and to the good things, to be able to receive the good. You also have to learn how to be humble and to be confident in your ability to do so. There is no shame in it. We are all human beings and we are entitled to receive love as much as we give love. And I say that to all the healers and people pleasers, or former people pleasers, because we don't like to hurt people. Boundaries and taking care of ourselves is a must, because we should not deplete ourselves for others. We absolutely deserve the love that we give out. But we have to be discerning and where we give that energy to, how much and how long, to walk away when things do not serve us. So leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. So butterflies are absolutely symbolic. I was filming lots of little butterflies yesterday, super cute, but their tongues freak me out. Obviously, I couldn't see it with the human eye, the tongue. But whenever I looked it up, I was pretty grossed out. So yes, that's that great mother. You've always been that mother figure, that nurturing support. And Spirit is saying that's what's searching for you. That inner union of self, for you to feel love within yourself and know that any past unhealthy situation, when you were giving your all, your best, and someone give you a headache, I'm hearing, and debt, you walk away because you know it's not you. You can't. I feel called to say this. We really have to be careful about who we give our energy to because unfortunately, I'm going to try not use labels, but unfortunately, there are people out there that actually enjoy siphoning your light and they want to see if you care about the relationship more than you care about yourself. They like to degrade people. They like to see your self respect go out the window. And it's so horrible. But that's the truth. And that's why we all, as caring people, have to be discerning. It is absolutely difficult to know intentions. And it's hard whenever you have a bond with someone. Like, for example, if you even have children with someone, and sometimes finances do keep you tied to someone because it's difficult to live alone now due to bills. And especially if you live in certain areas that are more expensive to live in, certain cities. So you have to be brave enough. Your love of self has to be greater than the love of that person because love is not a feeling, love is an action. And someone who truly cares about you will do their healing. They will leave you alone. They won't bring out all their shadows on you and then blame you. So you need to be discerning and really keep your eye out for people who genuinely like to watch you scramble to fix a relationship because that is what they get the joy from. And I'm going off on a little tangent here, but I'm really into crime shows, etc. And it's heartbreaking because you can see some people and they go, but why did you do this, like why did you do this, that? And the point is they did it because they enjoyed it. And it's hard for people who don't operate that way to understand it. That's why I'm so interested in psychology, sociology, philosophy, to really understand people. This is no disrespect to neurotypicals. The way that neurotypicals communicate is always kind of through ambiguity. Not everyone means what they say, and you're supposed to kind of do these mental gymnastics. So someone could be neurodivergent in this group to understand them, and they really don't like clarifying questions. They're somehow get defensive when you ask like straightforward questions. It's so bizarre to me. Anyway, back to you, group one. So really taking care of your heart. Fish can also be symbolic. Koi, perhaps someone has a little aquarium at home. Perhaps someone is a Pisces. I'm hearing Pisces, Aquarius, and Aries. Also Taurus. So yes, group one, please protect your heart and mind, and don't ever, forfeit yourself. Don't give away your heart and your aura and your vibes for free. People have to reciprocate, and unfortunately, when you don't put up boundaries, selfish people and people who don't really have that much effective empathy will just take it for granted. Especially entitled people who don't have that shining light within can be jealous of it, to watch it die down like a little lightning bug, like a little firefly. That is what they get quote unquote happy from. So I'm sending my love out to this pile. If you were in a relationship with someone like that, and Spirit is saying if you have never been and you're a gentle person, a very giving person, be very careful. And it's not to, walk around paranoid. Just be careful, be confidently in your needs and wants. And don't do anything you ever feel uncomfortable with. Healing, healed, healer. So this is just extra confirmation. This is affirming What the reading has been about so far, healing energy surrounds you in this situation. So your guides, the universe, wants you to feel as loved as you love others. They want this for you. This is what's searching for you. You may have been looking for this for a long time. You may have been on a long break from the love of your life and they had to go do some healing themselves. You may be someone who is religious. Perhaps you're part of a church community, a religious community. You can be spiritual and religious. Harry Potter is symbolic. So you like to heal people, but you've been feeling depleted and you want someone to really see you for who you are as a person and not what you can give them. Spring. So spring is a significant time. Perhaps something occurred in spring. Maybe you walked away from someone in spring. Your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. Could symbolize new beginnings. Hope springs. New beginnings are afoot. I'm seeing someone who likes eggs for breakfast. You're into protein, or you're getting into, healthy eating regime, well-being regime. Maybe you've started that. Maybe you're on a health kick. You were down for some time. Perhaps you were leaning on, perhaps it was a person who was doing so. I'm hearing some people may have been to rehab. Only take what fits. This could be physical rehabilitation also for injury. So let's look at tarot now. Group. Oh dear. Group 1. What is searching for group 1, please, Spirit? So as we see butterflies, it's about freedom, freedom of self, freedom to be yourself. Perhaps you were really enclosed and stifled in a past relationship. The devil. Temptation. Temptation from a toxic relationship. Maybe it kept you bound. There was someone who kept you bound within the relationship and you feel you couldn't really be yourself. You couldn't express yourself because when you did, they saw it as combat rather than, trying to find a solution within the conflict, because conflict is unavoidable as human beings. Interpersonal relationships are the foremost of our human experience. They're extremely difficult to escape unless you live out in the wilderness in a cave. So it's about learning. There's a good book called The Courage to Be Disliked. So I recommend that for you, group 1. So maybe you know this person from childhood, or you feel a bond from a past life with this person, group 1. And what's searching for you is an outlet. Perhaps you have started on a health course or a new job, that health kick, or really focusing on yourself, putting yourself first for once. And what's searching for you is the confidence for you to finally choose yourself and to let go, because you are only in control of your life. Perhaps you have children with this person and they could be manipulative, could be dealing with someone with narcissistic traits. And you're wanting something more traditionally affectionate, traditionally loving. So what's searching for you is that new lease of life where you're not afraid to put yourself first. You have the courage to do so. Oh, the World. And 5 of Wands. So what is searching for you is a relationship, an environment and circumstance that is free from the conflict that you've experienced in your life thus far. The space to be able to meditate, to break free from rumination and worry. I'm seeing a motorcycle. I'm seeing windy beaches. You may live by the coast. You could be taking a vacation or a trip soon by the coast. I'm seeing perhaps grandparents live in a coastal area. Maybe there was an incident that happened on the coast. Could be happy memories. Black cats. Cats are symbolic. Perhaps this person said that you were going to be a cat lady. They used harsh words against you, or they tried to tempt you in ways. They used manipulation to keep you staying and stuck in loops. They used your kind heart. They weaponized your kindness against you, but you're breaking free. I'm seeing martial arts can be symbolic in this. Hocus Pocus, the movie. Someone who quite likes champagne could be dealing with fire sign. So Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. Could be dealing with Taurus. Could also be dealing with Capricorn. So what is searching for you, group one, is that sense of freedom and independence that you deserve. You're having breakthroughs. You will see the signs and synchronicities. More peaceful nights is searching for you. The great escape is searching for you. This could be mentally, spiritually, literally, manifest as a place or all. Again, Five of Cups. So a way to break free from circumstances that brought you heartbreak, pain, and disappointment, to escape past addictions, a life where you have more strength to let people down and put yourself first. Be dealing with Leo. What is searching for group one? This one flipped. King of Cups. So remember at the start of the reading, there was the sacred masculine. So what is searching for you is the King of Cups energy. The highest form of love. A love that is devoted and won't let you down, is not chaotic, is in control of emotions, and does not blame, accepts you for who you are. Make space in your life for you, your needs, your wants, desires, your hobbies, for your opinions, allowing for you to express yourself how and when you want. Understanding your desire is for communication and not combat. Someone who really hypes you up and is able to view you through a lens of true love, of true devotion. Before I mentioned fish before, so Pisces. Someone could be a Pisces in their sun, moon, rising, and Venus or North Node. You could enjoy adventurous seaside towns, and what is searching for you is aligned with that. Someone who is independent and doesn't drown in their emotions. The King of Cups is sitting on top of the sea, on top of the ocean here. He is in control. He is a master of his emotions. What is searching for you is a sense of stability within yourself and in others. Stable home life, stable community, reliable sources, whether that be income or people. That sense of support, reliability. And searching for you is that sense within yourself that you deserve it. And anyone that has said in the past that you do not, and perhaps that you could not survive without a particular person or a particular thing, that's all illusions. That's all toxic to try cut down your confidence and esteem. Trust your intuition. A deep trust in your intuition is searching for you, group one. Now let's do confirmations. Confirmations. I always feel like whenever I say my S's, it's like a little snake. I might for ages afterward. Hello. I enunciate. Okay. So this could be you, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or North Node, group one. Or if you have a person in mind, do. So is that Leo? Yes, it is. Or is that Capricorn? This happens to me every time. Let me just have a little look see. Yes, that is Leo. 12th house. So again, intuitive vibes, the 12th house. The hidden, the unseen. Perhaps you have a strong telepathic link with someone. If you have not met your soulmate, it's in that state of all coming together. If you're manifesting and thinking, when will I meet them? This is what I need. This is what I'm looking for. And you write down your manifestations and you align it to your beliefs in your life and what you do and your actions. It's coming towards you. Spirit is saying it's coming towards you. To not lose faith in yourself and to believe in yourself and not to believe anybody's toxic words or manipulation or negativity against your own intuition and your own choices. King of Cups is saying, look out for the red flags. The universe and your guides are on the lookout so you don't drown in heaviness anymore. And what's searching for you is that strength to move forward accordingly, where you keep yourself in mind at all times and you're never less than anyone else. Perhaps for your kids, you might put your kids before you, but even still, you must consider your own self, your own fulfillment, your own desires. Don't stuff them down. You deserve all facets of life. I know I can understand being a fierce, I'm not a parent myself, but being a fierce protector. We teach people by our actions and how much love we give to others and our boundaries. They're also important. So that is Saturn, yes. And the lessons that are being learned are quite harsh, simply because you've been through a lot of trials. You've overextended yourself at times, Group 1. And the harsh reality and the harsh truth and the harsh lessons where you can't heal people with just love. You can't heal people with overgiving and overextending yourself because you become depleted. Your light dims. You could have synastry with the person that you have in mind. With these placements, 12 could be in your birth date. Someone could like listening to the rain or the wind at night. That's what's peaceful. It could even be one of your children's. They might get scared at night, and perhaps you've told them stories, bedtime stories, to flip the narrative so they're more comfortable. Perhaps you're someone that lives in quite a cloudy, stormy place, and you're looking out to brighter days, to sunnier days, to better mindset. I'm going to get some initials. Sweet release. If we see the balloons going up in the air, where you once cried tears over someone that didn't appreciate or see you. They did not see your value how you deserved, and you're letting it all go to float away and starting anew. And it all starts with your own perception. So R, W, E, Z, a Z, and A. Easy. Okay, Group 1, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking the video. It's an exchange of energy and it really helps the channel. And it keeps me going also. See you in the next one. Bye. Group 2, you chose the white swan feather and the harmony deck. Oh, I have it upside down. 8 of Cups. So perhaps you're walking away from a circumstance or person or location that no longer serves you. I'm just going to look at some oracle. Ask Spirit and connect to your energy, Group 2. See what it is that is searching for you. So Group 2, what is searching for Group 2? Okay, Spirit, what is searching for Group 2? When I started to read, angel number 1111. So you could be dealing with twin flame separation. You could have recently went through a significant cycle which caused you to look within. Oh no, is there going to be shadows? The shadow self could be significant. That actually drives me insane. Arr. Okay. So peaches and cream, I'm hearing. So Group 2, what is searching for you? What is searching for Group 2? Mystic Rose. Devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. So I'm hearing repose, a moment of pause, a moment of self-focus, a retreat, a health retreat. Trust the seasons, change, transition, growth cycles. Open, say yes. Open, not broken. Trust life. So what is searching for you is an opportunity to take life by the balls, to open yourself up to things that aren't necessarily something that you would ever consider, letting go of that fear factor. What is searching for you is the hidden truth in what you do every day. Why is it you make the choices that you do? Perhaps you're Sagittarius or you're dealing with a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Group 2, you could be heavily involved in creative industries. So, tattoo artist, makeup artist, a stylist, could be for fashion or clothes. So, you could be called Rose, or you could have a family member or the person in your mind could have Rose in their name. I'm also hearing seal, kissed by a rose. Feeling overwhelmed in this group, are they in a connection where they have gotten really stressed out and perhaps you deal with autoimmune responses? Christianity could be significant in this group, or spiritual practices, maybe non-denominational religion, yoga, self-expression. So what's searching for you is more color in your life. What's searching for you is a gateway to step into authenticity, to step into change. So the portal is there, and perhaps you're faced with a lot of decision, with many options. As we see, this lady is duplicated. She's mirrored. So you could be dealing with a mirror soul. You became a ghost of yourself, or you felt that you saw a ghost of yourself in another, and you've gone through the transition where they weren't willing to step up with you in alignment, so they pulled back or you pulled back. There was no value in being in that connection any longer. You're in that state, that hermit state, the hanged man state. You could be dealing with a Pisces, or you could be a Pisces yourself. Remember, energy is interchangeable. You're someone who has stayed focused in humility and grace. You could be Aquarius, or dealing with an Aquarius, very open minded. You like to seek clarity and you like to question things. You're into epistemology. Perhaps that's left people confused. You were a person of depth, struggling in shallow waters. You may wear red lipstick. That could be your statement. People might know you from wearing red styles that really show your personality. You could like pastels. You could be pastel goth, for example, or you wear, or you know someone that is. What is searching for you, group 2, is change, and lasting change, that consistent change that won't make you feel like things are being pulled from under the rug. Stable change, change that has you elevated in all ways, where you're shifting timelines and you're stronger in having gone through the painful transition. But searching for you is a moment of stillness. So perhaps your life is very busy at the moment. You have lots of options around you and you're in that state of confusion and you're trying to find your center. So what's searching for you is the space and opportunity to be able to take a breather. Perhaps a vacation is coming your way. Time off work. Time out to yourself. The return, new story, alignment coming together. So perhaps you're in that phase where you're trying to settle the monkey mind. Maybe you have plans to meet up with the person you haven't seen in a long time, soulmate, friend, an impending twin flame reunion. So what's searching for you is that reunion, is that lightness that you seek within the depth that you are. No longer a mirage, no longer a fantasy. What's coming and what is searching for you is the return of self, the return of authenticity. As I said before, perhaps you were in shallow waters that made you question who you were. People saw your grace and humility and your love for community and humanity as contrived, made you doubt yourself. They deflected and projected their insecurities onto you. It made you feel down on yourself. You chose the swan feather for a reason. Swans are elegant, but fiercely protective, and they mate for life. So you're looking for someone that has your back, someone that accepts you for you and accepts you for your depth. You could be a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or North Node, or you could be dealing with a Scorpio. So the swan feather, there's purity in it, there's innocence. You're quite childlike. Your mind doesn't tend to wander to places of corruption. And when you're in environments like that, they project their shadow thoughts or their toxic ways or their toxic mind games onto you, and it left you feeling confused. Perhaps you were torn all different directions and you were unsure of which pathway or which person you should portray that day, because when you showed up authentically, it was shunned almost, or it was questioned as if you were lying. Is that sense of fulfillment in oneself where you don't feel like there's anything fundamentally wrong with you. There's acceptance that's searching for you in another and in yourself. I'm seeing a significant job or career change in this group. If you're an entrepreneur, Spirit is presenting that opportunity for you to go through that portal of change, to choose that one direction and to stick with it with confidence, to be guided by your heart, by the humility that you practice. And that is a core part of yourself. You have a moral compass, and perhaps you were confused by the circumstances and crowd that's in your sphere because it didn't align with your core values. So you had to put on many masks and you had to consider all possibilities, especially if you felt trapped within a past circumstance. What's searching for you is you can bloom fully. Parts of yourself, not let certain parts of yourself peek out, but a full bloom, your whole self, and be discerning on who you choose to grow and bloom around. There's a circumstance and there's a consideration in your mind, group two, that has got you spinning, that has got you ruminating on which choice to take and which one does align. You're wanting to trust in the divine and trust in yourself and to remain centered and to not get involved in anything that will destabilize you. And even if something does throw you off center, you're learning to become centered pretty quickly. Whereas in the past, perhaps, it would have left you feeling unnerved for longer than it should have. So, what is searching for you is the reality that you can bring all sides to yourself and they can be accepted in the environment that you choose for your highest good. And Spirit is also saying it's the return of discernment that perhaps once left you if you were in a circumstance or in a connection that made you doubt yourself. The return of that stability within yourself and that mental fitness and that deep trust is searching for you. I think group two, you were searching for answers outside yourself in the external, only to be disappointed again and again and to be left more confused. So, what's searching for you is ultimately yourself. Not let it take over and overwhelm you to the point where you think that you're fundamentally flawed, which is not the case because we are not perfect as human beings. It's just not possible. But it's how we show up and how we love and how we repair the things that we care about rather than running and hiding. Group two, perhaps you always put your faith in God. Perhaps you always put your faith in the universe. And that's why, despite if you felt muddled, it may have taken you time to recover, but you've always gained that stability within oneself. Your true core identity, your true your true morals, that guiding compass to be ethical in how you move through the world, that never strayed. Maybe you have been ghosted too many times and you took it upon yourself to blame yourself for other people's actions. I'm seeing forbidden fruit. I'm hearing forbidden fruit. And when I look at that imagery, she's holding the Sacred Heart. And you hold your heart dear, but it reminded me of the Little Red Riding Hood. That could be significant. And you have been tempted by people, by situations, by things, by materialistic things in the past. This came out in group one also, so you could have messages in group one. You were tempted by the materialistic world, perhaps fake love, fake promises that left you doubting yourself. Perhaps you're in a connection where you walk away and you feel uneasy, and perhaps you ask this person for clarity, and instead you were faced with ambiguity. Debt paid off. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. So going through the phase the caterpillar goes through, in the chrysalis, in that hermit mode, time of being pensive and reviewing your life so far, reviewing your actions, reviewing the energy that you allowed to come into your life, and not to blame the external, but really focus on what is it about you that you can change so you don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. And it is easily done because not everyone that smiles is a friend, unfortunately. So we need to be discerning. So this debt, it could be literal debt, it could be karmic debt. You could have been in a connection where you were the sole provider. Perhaps friends and family took advantage of that because you didn't know how to say no without receiving guilt trips. You didn't want backlash. You tried to take the higher road. You're multiple people. Your multiple uses left you feeling used. Group two, you're a natural lover person, so lover girl, lover boy. People take advantage of that when you don't have boundaries and consequences to your boundaries. So let go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. Maybe you like bird watching like me. Someone could be a singer. Someone could be very vocal. Perhaps you talk. You like to talk a lot. Perhaps you deal with anxious attachment. You need resolution straight away. You try to fix. You think everything can be worked out through words immediately when this isn't the case. So, what's coming towards you is taking that time to pause, to not react, question what it is that you're feeling, what thoughts are coming to the forefront, what is the task at hand, what's the aggravation, is there a solution to it, can you solve it? If you can, you work towards it, and if you can't, you let it go. There's a childlike innocence. This is what people like about you. Perhaps people have taken advantage of perceived naivety, whereas you're not naive. You're simply someone who likes to be more happy go lucky. Perhaps you're someone who has been through the trenches, but you choose to show up better. You choose to show people the free spirited side because you don't want anyone else to go through what you have gone through. You overthink. You're trying to calm that mind, that overthinking mind, where you're bringing up, you're creating scenarios in your head and causing unnecessary stress to yourself. There's an opportunity that's coming your way, seeking you out. Nature, the free flow of nature. The time to let go is searching for you. That relief, the relief of stress, the relief of self-imposed limitations, the relief of perfection. Group two, maybe you were someone who doesn't like to try anything unless they think they're going to be perfect at it. And you're really hard on yourself if you aren't perfect. That's actually a wound that you need. I need to reword that because some people think that I'm demanding. So how would I word it? So, to work on that wound, it's suggested that you practice not being afraid of criticism, accepting that mistakes happen. If you grew up in a house where mistakes weren't allowed to happen, people tend to carry that wound that a mistake makes them such a bad person, worth being wrapped up in the external. People see people that are talented and just assume everything comes so naturally. Yes, people might have an advantage with that sort of talent where it's rare, but all people with talent practice that skill, and they practice until it looks flawless. Endless hours of the day. I'm seeing ice skating, so that could be significant. You may have a person in mind where you went ice skating with them, or you met them in winter, or you could be a Sagittarius, or you could be a Capricorn. President Snow, I'm thinking, with that movie with Katniss Everdeen. Okay, so what's searching for you is a limitless feeling of being limitless in your potential, to let the need for being perfect go, the need for control go, and to let people that try to control you go, to let circumstances go that stifle and belittle your talents. Perhaps you are a really talented creative, and if no one is particularly harsh to you, or no, you haven't dealt with anyone like that, and it's your inner critic that's really slowing progress for you down. What's searching for you is a moment in time where that voice gets quieter and quieter, and you practice the affirmations and the positive affirmations, where that criticism, that debt is gone. When you hear yourself or you catch yourself speaking negatively about yourself, whether it be about your skill or whether it be about your character or your physical looks, you correct it with a positive thought. You don't sit and you don't ruminate on it, because there is no such thing. I cannot say that enough. Learning to be balanced and learning to self correct is a skill, and it takes time. Like anyone, people with talent, sure, there's people that can sing and they're amazing, and whatever talent that might be, musical talent, sports. Yes, there are anomalies. Yes, there are people with a natural flaw, or sorry, with a natural skill, a unique skill. But every single one of them, every single person that has a talent, famous people, they have worked on it. Anything easy, they say, isn't worth having and isn't worth doing, because that's how you like to be rewarded as humans. You don't base your worth on it, not your entire worth. However, it gives you such a feeling of immense gratitude, and it gives you a sense of achievement. And when we have a sense of achievement in completing something that we love, it builds our confidence, it builds our self esteem. Now, the line of balance is you cannot base everything on the external, because that's ever changing. But if you build something up from the beginning yourself, that feeling of satisfaction, it's unmatched, because you did that yourself. You worked from the ground up. You could be an earth sign. You could be dealing with heavy earth energy. Group two, you may have painted your walls recently. You could have done your gardening recently. Done your gardening. I don't even know if I've said that correctly. You could have been gardening recently, or went to a garden centre, picked out plants. You may watch the birds. You may take time out to yourself. Peaceful moments. Group two, you may have a very busy lifestyle. So what's searching for you are those little moments of respite. These could be long moments, these could be breaks away, or these could be literal breaks, 5-10 minutes to yourself, just to center yourself, remembering who you are in the moment, to not react, to not come out of character. Perhaps you work in an industry where you deal with a lot of different personalities and difficult people, and you have to really watch your tone. You have to really watch how you react. And it's not even because you don't want to hurt anyone else, the people that you're interacting with. It's you don't like to come out of character and you're upset with yourself if you say things that you don't mean or if you think that you've hurt someone else. You don't like that. And then you tend to feel guilt, group two. So it's to let that go with all self limiting beliefs and also societal pressure. Maybe you're in a career that's quite straight laced, it's quite corporate, and you're wanting to move to the more creative side, and you're not sure whether to take that risk. Maybe you have to compromise certain things. You could be working with a business partner and contemplating, is it worth, are they to be trusted? Are they trustworthy? As I'll be indebted to this person forever. This could even be a partner if there's anyone expecting in this group. So blonde hair, symbolic. Someone could be into old Hollywood glamour, weeping willows, Pocahontas. You've rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. So what's searching for you is a long and well-deserved break. You're either entering this timeline or it's shifting. Queen of Cups. A time of fulfillment is searching for you, group two. A time where you pour all the love into yourself, where your truth and your inner thoughts and your inner critic isn't going to keep you stunted anymore, isn't going to hold you back from living the dream that you've always dreamt of. Significant change is searching for you, a transition, life development that will cut off the old, cut through the fog. And this transition means that you will never be able to go back to the way it was, even with this person, if you have a person in mind. So horse riding, hermit at the bottom of the deck. It's just confirmation of what Spirit has been saying throughout the reading. My little feather. Oh, put the feather here. So hermit at the bottom of the deck. So I said Sagittarius, yes, earth energy, fire. To be dealing with a Virgo, you could be a Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. So what is searching for you is a significant time of change, the opportunity to be able to go through the portal fully and not halfway. So if you were in a connection where you were toing and froing, not knowing where you stood, stability is coming. Stability is searching for you. The opportunity to be real, to be authentic, to not shy away from what it is that you want. Anyone seeking a romantic partner or a person from the past, perhaps you've been manifesting a reunion and you wanted them to come in a lot sooner and to understand you a lot sooner, to be able to show up a lot sooner, as your life could be very busy. Perhaps you have children with this past person, or you could look after children. You wear many hats. Your head is on a swivel, I hear. The transition of trying to move careers or trying to move into parenthood. And what's searching for you is the love that you seek, coded in stability, self-worth, and dedication to showing up correctly. That self-belief. What's searching for you is a life free from dependency on the inner critic to guide you. You want to start moving from the heart and not letting your head take over, trusting your intuition, as I was speaking about in the devotion card, the Mystic Rose. Your feminine light, your feminine nurturing. If it's the masculine that you want to show up, the Knight of Pentacles is slow moving, but it's slow moving with intention. They're not impulsive. Like you, in this phase of thinking, really mulling over and putting into thought right before you go into action, because it isn't hasty. You consider all options. You're considering consequences. You're considering people's feelings. You're considering, you're weighing the pros and cons. You're considering how you moved and how you hurt yourself in the process. And is there anything that you can do behaviorally moving forward to protect yourself? So what is searching for you is the freedom from the inner critic, with a reunion of self that is fulfilled in making their own decisions fully and without dependency on anybody else's opinion. I'm hearing coulda, shoulda, woulda. Searching for you is the moments to take to yourself. Perhaps you're burnt out, group two, and you never get a moment's peace. You never get that rest. You never get to just chill. Dealing with so much expectation from yourself and from others can really wear you down. So what is searching for you is an opportunity to be open wide, to seize brand new escapades, brand new people and opportunities that are presented, and to be able to be discerning that they are true, that they're authentic, and not to doubt yourself, not to overcloud yourself in, because you can be discerning and your intuition sticks around for a few seconds until the overthinking mind starts that chatter. So, what is searching for you is breaking free from that chatter, breaking free from the chains of self doubt, and the stable partner, if that is who you're seeking, if it's a connection, past connection that you're in separation from, they're coming towards you. That's what's searching for you, offering you that grounding presence that you're also bringing, that reliability, that reciprocity. What is searching for you is the opportunity to be able to navigate busy situations that create cognitive dissonance with that grace and devotion consistently that you have for self, as we see in the Mystic Rose card. Searching for you is the opportunity to let all the defenses go. The defenses you have built up throughout the years due to trauma, telling you that you are not good enough. The portal is here and it's being presented to you. The Wheel of Fortune, the tides are changing, moving in to that stable, and it may be a slower life. A lifestyle change could be dramatic, it could be significant, fast paced to the slower life. Perhaps you're perhaps you're leaving the rat race. You're entrepreneurial, or you can do this, for example, from home, moving location to somewhere that's more slower paced. Perhaps you want to build a family. You're wanting someone to show up that you can depend on and grow interdependency with. Someone who aligns with your lifestyle is what's searching for you. You prefer someone who can keep their promises and show love in action, to show love in a stable, consistent way. You may have dealt with someone that was all talk and no action. That unreliability made you question yourself as a person and if you deserved it and if there was something wrong with you fundamentally. So, what's searching for you is a mindset that is free from that doubt. So what's searching for you is new beginnings that align with you, group two. What's searching for you is the light at the end of the tunnel. If you're in particularly hectic, chaotic times, you've been dragged through, maybe you have been dealing with family members that expected a lot from you. We all have different ideals and cultural backgrounds and different expectations. Perhaps there were marriages that were set up for you and you wanted to go against the grain, and that impacted your lifestyle negatively. Perhaps you were seen as the dark horse in your family, or the black sheep, or someone who is different, someone who tends to think differently. So Uranus could be symbolic in this. So what is searching for you is someone who has the same ideals as you, that prefer that steady, slow, consistent life. It's not dramatic, it's not flashy, but it aligns. You're tired of chaos and you're tired of fake BS. You're tired of fake love. And I see you also tired of setting goals for yourself and not following through. So what's searching for you is that moment of clarity where you're not going to listen to that inner critic anymore. You're done with it. You're going to step forward and you're never going to look back. And your vibration will have risen. You will walk through life with a higher vibe. Nothing will feel so heavy anymore. You'll be grounded in yourself and with that partner that you've always wanted, whether it's a return of a person or a new person. It's not going to be dramatic, but it's going to be real. Star Wars can be symbolic. Okay, skip the dice. Okay, so number 10 could be 10th house. You could be dealing with Taurus or Aquarius. You could be dealing with a Gemini. And we see in the card the other Mystic Rose card. I don't want to pull apart the cards, where the lady had multi versions of herself. They were all blurred. So someone who was either ghosting you all the time, doing that pulling closer and then moving away, that sort of dynamic. So also Gemini, the twins. You could be a Gemini, or the person that you're dealing with could be, or just have a personality that has many sides to it, or two sides, or you're dealing with a person who was two-faced and it left you feeling betrayed and doubting yourself, especially if this was a workplace or a colleague or a partner that was duplicitous. So what's coming towards you is someone that is not afraid of the clarity at all. They'll embrace it. They'll want you to ask more questions. They like the curiosity. And I'm hearing, you may think I'm boring, but I'm stable. And a lot of people do mistake, if it's not complete chaos and fireworks, they think boring, but that's not boring. Anything that makes you feel calm is not boring. Calm and loved and devoted. What more could you want? Of course, we all want excitement, moments in our life, but when it comes to relationships, everybody wants consistency. And that's what's searching for you. That's searching for you. So you keep doing what you're doing, group two, focusing on yourself and staying aligned with what it is that you want, not straying from your core identity. What's the word that I'm looking for? Not betraying yourself, not betraying who you are for anything or anyone. Someone could be going into the food business, the restaurateur. I'm hearing Gemini. So this again, so this is Jupiter. Yes, so Sagittarius could be really symbolic or significant in this connection. A lot of lessons being learned to really elevate your state of being. And this could even be in society. You might want to climb the ladder. There could be some of you that actually want to climb an industry ladder and you're afraid to just go for that job. Maybe go for that position. Maybe you thought, oh, I'm not experienced enough or I lack these credentials. Well, Spirit is saying to go for it. Do not let your mind talk you out of great opportunities due to fear. It's time to open up and to expand your mind and to accept slow, long process, because that's how you learn. I mean, we talked about talent. Like, it is long. It's a long, dedicated process. So wouldn't you prefer if someone came back slowly to you, but they learned their lessons and they were willing to give you tangible change, change in action? That would be better because it will remain and it's consistent, rather than someone or something that's going to be flighty, because that's just going to leave you all discombobulated again. And it's not worth it. It is not worth wrecking your nervous system or getting your nervous system wrecked. It's absolutely not. And as you get older, you learn that more and more. So 10, this could be house number, cell number, date of birth. Check your synastry if you have a person in mind. I'm hearing someone always talking to Gemini, the chatbot. Maybe there was a situation where you needed a lot of help from and you doubted which action to take. So Spirit is saying you really need to just trust your intuition, divine timing. Significant change is searching for you, but you are the operator of that change. You are the master of your universe and your life. You have to trust in yourself. You have to trust in your confidence and your skill and work on it. Be the master of that skill. Become the master of your own defenses and other people's defenses. Opportunity is coming for you to be in competition with yourself and no one else. And a supportive partner is looking for the same and willing to meet you there also. Okay, group two, thank you so much for coming. Please like the video. It exchanges energy and it helps the channel. You know I love ya. See you in the next one. Hey, group three, you chose the little magpie feather. I love UK magpies. I heard, this is anecdotal, I heard that Australian magpies are little bitches. Are they? If anyone from Australia watches this, please tell me, are they? Not all birds mate for life, but it's cute when they do. The albatross, oh, if anyone knows about albatrosses, so cute. If you ever see any videos, they're so dedicated and waiting for their partner, and sometimes it can take years for their partner to come back from overseas, and they still stay dedicated. So perhaps the loyalty is a thing for group three. Do you feel that you betrayed yourself? Did someone betray you? I thought my mic was off. Okay, so the anointed. So what is searching for you, group three? And you use, yes, the crystal magic deck, magpie. Group three, maybe you struggle with black and white thinking. It's either one way or the other way. There's not a middle ground, or you're dealing with a connection that you're always bickering and it's one way or the other, it's right or wrong, and there's no meeting in the middle ground for compromise. The anointed, answer the call, leadership, soul gifts. So group two, you're being asked to step into a timeline that fulfills your greatest good, that fulfills your soul, that focuses on why you were put on this earth, your mission. Maybe it was a point of contention with a connection that you have. the Holy Grail, and this was in group one. So perhaps you have some messages in group one. The anointed, answer the call, leadership, soul gifts. Plant yourself here, integration, embodiment, action, the Holy Grail, the stop the endless searching, others of the rose, secret masculine, protection, support. So group three, you could naturally be quite a dominant person. Perhaps you are a cardinal sign, Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and Libra. Or you could be a fire sign. So you could be Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. So Aries are quite dominant. When an Aries doesn't work through their shadow, they can be seen as quite bossy and quite demanding. I'm an Aries sun and an Aries Mercury. Yeah, Sagittarius moon. Oh, and I'm an Aries rising also. So, as you can imagine, before I had my ego death and before I really looked inside and worked on my shadows, you could imagine what I was like. And I do not feel shame for it. I was undiagnosed neurodivergent also. And we all know like Aries are ride or die. So again, group three, you could be Aries. It could be significant. A Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or North Node. Aries are very ride or dies. You want an Aries. An Aries in your life will stick with you through thick or thin. They will speak up for you in rooms that you're not in and people are talking about you. You know, they will always defend you when you're not in the room. We're very, I can say we're very loyal, spiritually loyal. We're quite childlike, and that's why we can be seen as temperamental and we have little temper tantrums, according to people. But an unchecked Aries can be very aggressive. And if you're not used to fire signs, that can be quite intimidating to people. But all signs, every single sign in the astrological wheel has a shadow side. So perhaps you have dealt with a person who is fiery and hot tempered, is impulsive, maybe doesn't think things through, or this could be yourself. And Spirit is saying, you know, now's the time to really stay more grounded in your reaction to the environment and your reaction to people. So, what is searching for you is lessons on how to deal with triggers, with people that stir up those reactions that make you feel guilty and make you step out of character. They make you doubt yourself because you've overreacted in a circumstance. Now, I think all feelings are valid, but when we're reacting from sheer impulse and defensiveness and wounds, it is going to be an overreaction in terms of what is perceived as healthy or what is understood as healthy. So it's that black and white thinking, right or wrong. So what is searching for you is a more grounded place. Maybe you're someone who didn't want to sit with their emotions, didn't want to consider too much the consequences of their actions. There's an opportunity for you to plant yourself, to integrate your core wounds, and to take action by becoming whole in yourself. And by taking action, that could be anything from everyday rituals and just understanding yourself and making your life easier for yourself. Perhaps you were someone that saw things as shortcuts as weak. You know, you have more of an old school mentality, or shut up and put up, and not to really sit in your emotions too long. And that was your defensiveness, you know, that was your facade. And what is searching for you is calmer waters, is the sacred masculine, being able to lead yourself and others in a calmer, more dedicated way, in a way that's more aligned with softness, with being receptive to a gentle state, a more compassionate way of being, a more perception that is more, what's the word I'm looking for, accommodating for yourself. It's to learn what is searching for you is the patience with oneself. Group three, perhaps you or your person has always been, or the person you have in mind, if you have one, is always searching for something to calm that fire within. Maybe there has been anger issues, things that haven't been resolved, your trigger points, things that make you activated, like I'm seeing red. Maybe harsh words are used in defensiveness. Maybe you're someone that didn't use, coping mechanisms, pulling away. You're someone that actually was on the defensive, like on the attack. So it's not silence that you would use, it's words, it's calm. combative words. So, what's searching for you is a time to be more centered. What's searching for you, if it's a person, is the sacred masculine. The sacred masculine that will make you feel supported, that will make you feel at ease, that will make you feel calm, it will make you feel that you don't have to step into a masculine role and you won't have to be so defensive in a world that tends to put down a feminine, for example, for being a natural leader or for being naturally dominant. Group three, perhaps you're someone that does have a fiery, adventurous spirit, but you're wanting to take that step back. You're wanting to be led. And perhaps in the dating world, if this resonates, please take it. If not, leave it for someone else. In the dating world, you've only encountered people that are afraid to take the lead. So, what is searching for you is a masculine energy that isn't, that is confident enough to take the lead, to take that first step, to have plans laid out that doesn't leave you guessing, that you don't have to hint at, you don't have to ask. They will bring it up. They'll learn all these details about yourself, whereas once perhaps they didn't before. Maybe a person from the past and in separation contemplated and learnt lessons, and they learnt what it was that they lost in the moment of separation. Maybe you didn't want to search for anyone because you met your soul, you met your twin soul, you met your mirror soul. And in moments of separation, you doubted yourself. You even doubted, perhaps, is this even real? Perhaps you saw parts of yourself that you never really experienced before. Perhaps they brought out triggers and caused you to look at yourself and to look in the mirror and to consider the freeze. If we see a deer and we see the bird here, well, I see it as an owl. So how I see this image for me is the transition, Scorpio, and then it's the owl, and then it's to the phoenix rising. So you could be going through the divine masculine timeline. And what is searching for you is the moment to release the self doubt and whether it was real, and to no longer look for signs, to no longer overuse tarot, say, for example, to focus on yourself, to work on the yin and yang within yourself, to work on the wounded feminine, to work on the wounded masculine, to work on the fawn response, to work on past people pleasing, to work on the overly aggressive response, to try and find that balance. As we see, you could be dealing with a Libra, or you could have Libra in your chart. As the feminine in this image has her arms out, and it's as if she's calling in from the sky above and trying to balance herself, trying to center herself, as all the world around her is chaotic. She remains the same. Now remember, I'm speaking about energies, so when I say she or he, just apply it energetically. But if you do happen to represent in that body, then that's fine. So to take action without losing yourself, without losing your cool, because you still have that sacral power, that sacral energy, that thing that gives us life. That is a core part of the feminine being. That raw carnal passion comes from us all. The feminine is a force to be reckoned with, who is magnetic, who has that life force. For example, if you are a generator in human design, I am a generator, and I can't remember what it is offhand now. Mine is basically to show unconditional love to the world and to myself. That's basically my mission. And I have the ability to constantly create energy. So, group three, perhaps you're restless and you were always searching for something to calm you down or to give you that hit, to give you that satisfaction, to give you that sense of relievement, achievement. Maybe you're high achieving and you can never achieve enough. And someone with that mindset won't won't ever feel fulfilled in themselves, because again, if you're always looking for the next step, how can you ever really cherish in the present? That's why it's really good to focus in the present. That's why it says plant yourself here. It's about really taking the time to be grateful of all that's around you, whether you have achieved it, whether you've created it, whether you're watching other people create, just to experience life around you in the moment, because it goes so quickly. That could be a fear of yours, wasting time, wasting energy, trying to learn how to be that calm in the storm for yourself, and trying not to go on the attack, or always thinking whatever someone says is a threat, or this could be the person that you're dealing with. It's learning to balance the energy and consider that when someone brings forth something to you that has hurt them, it isn't an attack on character. Typically, if someone comes to you and they have been hurt and they're being reasonable and they're willing to listen to you and willing to listen to your side, and there is a talk to come to an understanding and compromise, to be empathetic in the situation and work towards change, that's not an attack. Like, that's not, it's how we approach things, obviously. In tone's always been a one for me, as I'm neurodivergent. Like, my tone is always off. I'm going to be honest. I never really know the socially acceptable tone, so I either sound really sarcastic or condescending, and it isn't nice to always hear that when I'm being sincere. So that could occur frequently. There could be tone issues, the way you speak to someone, the way someone speaks to you, just a misalignment in communication. Could be completely innocent, but it has this way of insidiously damaging connection, and then you get frustrated and you can go into mode of either overachieving or endlessly searching for something that will give you that sense of recognition or give you that validation that you need, whenever it has to come from yourself. And it does sound cliche, and I don't think people really understand the significance or value of really needing absolutely nothing and no one, and looking at yourself and not blaming yourself for it and going, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay as a person. It doesn't make my worth. I'm not shitty. I still feel good about myself. Yes, circumstances are bummer. It's complete buns. This could be better. I could do that better. But I mean, you in yourself. You don't lose any love for yourself. You're not going to degrade yourself. You're not going to do away with your self respect. You're not going to twist yourself into a different identity to put someone else's comfort first. No, you know who you are as a person, and your worth isn't based on the external. So, what's searching for you is the moment you come into self and realize the reactions that you're having around certain circumstances or people are there for lessons, for you to take another avenue, for you to choose another behavior and not self punish. And if you're someone who shied away from that, maybe you've never been too introspective, or the person you're dealing with, you preferred to run, you preferred to let it go and do something else instead. Some people don't like to sit in the discomfort, it's too much for them. And if you don't learn how to sit in discomfort, life is going to be incredibly chaotic. It's going to be incredibly painful, because life is uncomfortable. And it's about learning not to externalize the shame and not to internalize it. Your core self, when you learn to really love who you are, and not in a bragging way, not in a fake way, not in the arrogant way, the hubris, just knowing that I'm I'm Coolio. I love myself and I am not willing to accept BS. So you'd be quite okay with having nothing. And I mean, obviously, we're not talking about food and whatnot here. I mean, even still, if there were circumstances where you were in scarcity, you're still okay with your fundamental identity. That doesn't shake who you are. And so much can grow from that. So much light can grow from that. You can have so much influence. When the light within you doesn't die, it stays and remains stable. And when you remain a lighthouse for yourself and others, it can create such a beautiful environment. And even if that environment's just your household, for you and your pet, for example, there's all sorts of energies we deal with. And unfortunately, in today's society, we deal with a lot of difficult personalities and people that are unwilling to face their shadows. And it's always projected onto people who have done the work. And we can't, people always say, oh, stay away from these people, stay away. Yes, okay. So you can self isolate. Great. And then what? Then just spend the rest of your life alone. Okay. Some people don't mind it. I personally, I don't mind spending a lot of time by myself, but at least I like to stay open to the opportunity to socialize when I like, or to go traveling somewhere. It's not a coping mechanism, it's a choice. Whereas you're still sort of stuck with wounds and triggers if you use the silence and isolation as a coping mechanism, a maladaptive one. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, or you could be Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Zebras or magpies could be your favorite animal. Into spirituality, I would think yes, especially if you're watching tarot. You could be a healer yourself. Oh, something came into my mind and then it flew away. Healer, what? This is very specific, but you could be someone that grew up in quite an impressive environment, group 3, and you're still learning to accept certain circumstances, or certain things may have happened to you in the past that created those walls and that defensiveness. So while you may have a naturally more dominant personality, and if you are feminine, that can intimidate people, but that doesn't mean that you're too much. That's just. So where was I? My phone battery died. So I am back. Let me center myself. My squeaky chair. So you could resonate with that group 3. You always exhaust yourself, perhaps even through over explaining, and you're done with over explaining yourself. You're done with explaining your dominant personality. You're done with explaining of why you are the way you are. You're done with explaining to people who won't accept you for who you are. When people say, oh, you're so intimidated, or you're so intimidating, and it's unfair to, but especially if you're feminine, especially if you're a woman in today's society, people will like externalize it or project as if it's the woman's fault that she's confident. Maybe you grew up in a household where you had a caregiver, a masculine caregiver, or a mother figure that told you that you should be quieter, that you should make yourself smaller, that you should speak only when spoken to, that you shouldn't be so opinionated, that you should only do certain activities that aligned with what was seen as feminine. Those toxic stereotypes, those social instructions that are put on us whenever we enter this world. And you could naturally be a rebellious person on top of whatever trauma you carry. But you could be a real maverick, like a dynamic person, a trailblazer. So I said Aries or Aquarius, or a Uranus complex in your chart. So growing up with someone who was a wounded masculine created that environment for you where you have become more defensive and perhaps more distrusting, or more, yes, distrusting of masculines and the men that come into your life. Perhaps you dealt with a lot of people that were competitive to an unhealthy level. I think some healthy competition is good for a relationship and connections, but to be jealous, perhaps you dealt with partners that were insecure and you were more secure. And what's searching for you is that masculine that can take your femininity, that can take your emotions and not take them personally, and not see them as a feeling, and not see them as a threat to his ego. If it's a man coming forward towards you, or if it's a masculine and it's a woman, the energy coming towards you will be whole. They'll feel fulfilled within themselves. They won't feel intimidated by a woman's power, by a woman's fire, and by a woman's light. You will have the lion as group 3. You're a lioness. You're walking away. As the light went off, I can't actually see what this says, so let me read it. Leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. So learning to be less defensive. If we want safety, we have to create that safety within ourselves. If we have to offer it to other people, and that's the same about people coming into your life. Maybe you had partners that were less dominant, but you're always looking for someone that was as dominant or more flexible. You didn't want to be always the one taking charge. And it's a time to ground yourself and maybe ask why you're more drawn to those people in the past, because they all teach us about ourselves. Perhaps you felt more in control by taking on connections where you actually had the control, where you were the more dominant person, because you didn't like to give up the control. So what's searching for you is that part of yourself where you don't feel the need to have to control everything around you to feel safe. You can open yourself up to new beginnings. You can stop the endless searching. because the change starts with you. And what's searching for you is that ideal partnership that you've always dreamt of, but perhaps were too afraid of. Practice, practice, practice. And this is exactly what I was talking about with the skill, and to practice the skill, to become better, to become masters at our skill. I think that was group 2. Perhaps you have messages in group 2. Yes, I think that was in group 2. With daily practice, you can polish your skills and talents and increase your confidence. Yes, so if you feel called, I mean, no, you obviously don't have to, you should check out pile 2. Maybe you see yourself as a rare breed, that unicorn. Perhaps you grew up with people that were not really into the same things you were into. You were more pioneering. And it's not that you went out of your way to be different, you just naturally have that sort of aura. So what is searching for you is the patience to take time to understand yourself instead of rushing from one thing to the next. So if this is the connection, as I had to come back, I feel. So if you do have that fear of not starting something, and if it's not about the starting it, you can start it, but you give up quickly because you didn't master it. If that's the case, what is searching for you is the confidence to be wrong, to be bad, to be not perfect, to be imperfect, and what it is that you're putting your time and energy to. That could be anything. That could be literally anything. That could be motherhood. That could be fatherhood. That could be parenthood. That could be dating, the new connection you're in, the separation, the self-growth, even reparenting or healing that inner child. To let go of the fear of doing things in a flawed way. To be more courageous in being wrong. What's the worst that can happen if you're wrong? You can learn. So what is searching for you is the insight and the introspection and the grace and the patience to be wrong, and to allow others to be wrong, and don't take it as a slight. To not take someone challenging you as a slight to your ego. So that could be you or a person that you have in mind. Children. Your connection with children is part of your life's purpose. So maybe you deal with a child who you can be constantly challenged by, and you're unsure of how to kind of navigate the dynamic. Perhaps you're exhausted by this, or perhaps you're exhausted at the critic inside that chastises the child within, and you're wanting to provide a safe space for your inner child. Children represent hope, joyfulness, that ability to be free, that nothing is tainted by what is projected onto us and what we learn along the way. All the perceptions of bigotry, discrimination, hate, free from all that. So what is searching for you is a call to new perception, to become whole with your shadows, and to step into a timeline where affirmations of self are said with confidence and self-belief, to not go through the motions in life with a chip on your shoulder. What's searching for you is the calming presence within yourself, to be your own motivator, and to not feel that you need to dominate to feel in control. You can take a passive seat. You can learn to be an active listener and to passively listen. You can learn to take the passenger seat sometimes, and it's what I think this is what you want. This is what you want in a partnership. I think you're exhausted with having to take the steering wheel 24/7, the hyper independence. But if there's a conflict within yourself, group 3, what keeps you stuck in your own cycles, whereas you might let go of the reins sometimes, and then you feel you're losing control. You might feel you're losing your identity, and then the fences come up again. You could have dealt with someone like that. You could have dealt with people or a person that wasn't willing to see middle ground. You could be dealing with a person or people that weren't willing to confront their own shadow selves. And obviously you don't present that to them that way. I mean, not a lot of people walk around going, have you encountered your shadow self? Just even being challenged. Like, some people really don't like to be wrong, and that could be within yourself and people. A lot of people do take criticism as threat. A lot of people are uncomfortable with it. And especially if you grew up with a traumatic background, it can create a lot of activated nervous systems. You jump to the conclusion that you have to be on guard. And it's difficult to navigate if you're traveling or if you're going through life on fight or flight in survival mode. Group three, it's difficult to actually it's difficult to provide that safe space for yourself, yes, but if when you get into a connection and you're going through survival mode, there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road, especially if you're with someone who is also in survival mode but their wounds are showing up in a inverted way. Whereas you become more dominant, they become more silent and pull away. So it's learning to balance. I did say Libra before, yes. It's learning to balance and understand yourself first and foremost, and to understand when you truly do care for someone, you want to understand how they like to be loved and how they love to be heard also. But remember, it's always about coming together, not wanting to always be right, but to wanting to understand and work together towards a proactive solution if there is one. And sometimes it is just to be listened to. You know, not everything needs to be fixed. Sometimes it's just letting a situation play out where you don't actually have to hold on so tightly to the outcome. Right, let's get the tarot. Yeah, so Gemini. I did say Gemini would be symbolic. Also, what's funny is there's a magpie outside my window. I wish I could take a picture. It's a little cutie. It's got like a little rotund, chubby belly. I'm like, no, so cute. Okay, so just thinking of magpies. I'm hearing pigeons. Did someone get frustrated with pigeons? Pigeons in the park, pigeons in a downtown area, city area, kicking pigeons. I got really pissed at seeing a child kick a pigeon, you know. I said, don't you dare do that. Do not harm animals. No, I was genuinely annoyed. I don't care. I literally do not care who you are. Like, where is your mother and father, please? For animals. Okay, so Three of Swords. So what is searching for you is relief and release of the feeling that you were betrayed and stabbed in the heart. Searching for you is a time to let go of when your friends or family or person betrayed you. But searching for you is more purity, is more sincerity in connection. That safe haven that you wanted, it doesn't come without risk, of course, because love is always a risk, but it's about trusting in the moment, staying present. What are you learning about the person? What are you learning about yourself? And not waiting to jump, not waiting to be defensive, like when's the ball going to drop? Because you're steering the energy, even subconsciously, for failure. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy I'm hearing. Two of Swords. So it's searching for you is a time to let go of the overthinking and being driven by mental processes only. But searching for you is a time to really focus on your intuition and your childlike state. Eight of Coins. To focus on that skill, to focus on the talents that you have wholeheartedly, to focus on your mission. So what's searching for you is fulfillment in doing things messily and doing things imperfectly and still getting satisfaction, still finding that light from doing it, just in the action, just in the experience in itself. There doesn't have to even be a reason. There doesn't have to be a conclusion or a certain outcome. It's the act in itself, the experience of living, the experience of being messy. Maybe you were always criticized in past connections or growing up for being different. You could have ADHD, you could be neurodivergent, and you built a fortress around yourself. And then if people don't live up to your ideals of what you think perfection can be, you're always disappointed. But that's the trap, because no one can live up to the ideals. Again, this could be you or a person you have in mind. That's funny. I'm part of the Corvidae family. There's a crow in this. There was a little jackdaw outside the window, and a magpie was on the bird feeder, and the magpie is way too big for it. It's hilarious. Two of Wands and the Fool. So what is searching for you is a new cycle, a new beginning, a new lease of life, a new understanding of yourself, a new step forward, a new opportunity to go through a fresh cycle. If you have a person in mind, if you're dealing with a counterpart, if you're going through that journey, what's searching for you is that moment to let go of the indecision, of the need to be right, to let go of the fear of failure, to be courageous, as you're naturally courageous, you're naturally rebellious, but the criticism and that perfection wound, it limits your happiness. And I'm not sure that you're aware of it. Let's get some extra confirmation with the astral dice now. So these are just extra confirmation. Remember, you don't have to take it if you don't want to, or feel free to take the reading as it resonated. So apply to your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or the person that you have in mind. So what do we have? We have Neptune, number 6, and Sagittarius. So that idea of wanting to expand your mind and to open up more to new opportunities, group 3, but not in a way where you flit from one to the next, not taking in the present, not taking in the meaning and value of the moment in time, and really taking the time to sit with yourself as you expand your mind, as you broaden your horizons, and looking for that in another person, not being afraid to. Perhaps you were someone that didn't feel comfortable with the level of depth that you felt. So you ran away from it. You tried to push it down. So what's coming towards you are moments of serenity and moments of surrender to let that go. So you can work towards your higher self in a place where you feel more comfortable with that softness that you felt you had to be extra guarded about. So number 6, that could be related to your birthday, anniversary, phone number. Just apply it how it fits in your situation. And Neptune. So Neptune is all about that dreamy state again. I'm thinking perhaps you do have quite strong psychic abilities. Perhaps they were mocked. Perhaps you didn't feel comfortable in the environment that you're in to show those types of traits or strengths. So what is searching for you is a time and a moment to allow yourself to express yourself in that way where you feel safe. So perhaps you have a Neptune complex in your birth chart, or if you have a person in mind, they could, or the person coming towards you. So now let's get you some initials. So we have J, R, Q, E, Y, G, N, and A. Oh, Nana, what's my name? Okay, so Rihanna could be significant. That could be you or your person's name or a connection close to you. Okay, group 3, thank you for taking your time to connect with me in the reading, and I will see you again. If it did resonate, exchange the energy and like the video. It really does help the channel to grow, and it hypes me too. Love ya.